Fatemi che pulizia.
Did with him?
Veramente la prima linea di fuoco.
Since 1967, the Palestinian territories of the West Bank, the Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem have been occupied by the Israeli army. These occupied territories constitute just 22% of historic Palestine. We are now at Kalandia checkpoint, one of the many controlled by the Israeli army, which break up the geographical continuity of the occupied Palestinian territories. Hundreds of checkpoints, spread out all over the West Bank, create a series of internal frontiers, transforming the Palestinian areas into inhuman ghettos. Through this control net, the occupying army heavily influences the movements of civilians, preventing any form of development and normality. Every day, thousands of Palestinian women, children, students, workers, and executives face the humiliation of military inspections.
Dopo la prima intifada che ha visto di nuovo sofferenze immani da parte palestinese, finalmente nel 93 era sembrata scoppiare la pace. La stretta di mano fra Rabin e Arafat, benedetta da Clinton, sembrava che finalmente potesse vedere una soluzione in quel paese, e cioè vedere finalmente la coesistenza fra uno Stato palestinese e uno Stato israeliano. In realtà gli accordi di Oslo non sono mai stati rispettati. La grande tragedia è stato l'assassinio di Rabin da parte non di un fondamentalista islamico, ma da parte di un fondamentalista ebreo, che ha veramente rotto e interrotto anche un processo di pace che sembrava ormai avanzare.
Part of the Israeli public opinion strongly supports the two states for two peoples solution, which characterized the Oslo process. Nonetheless, the peace front wasn't able to break the Israeli colonial politics, supported on the outside by the United States government and on the inside by the settlers movement and by the ultra-Orthodox right wing.
israeliane le abbiamo conosciute nell'88, quando siamo partite per dire vediamo e lanciamo una sfida, è possibile come donne decidere che in una situazione di conflitto è possibile trovare relazioni, ponti, rispettare il diritto dell'una e dell'altra. E siamo andati in Palestina e abbiamo trovato queste donne straordinarie, palestinesi, israeliane, e con loro in tutti questi anni abbiamo fatto un percorso di costruzione di relazioni, con una cosa in comune: basta con l'occupazione militare israeliana.
Ils ont voulu la guerre. La guerre d'indépendance, il y a eu la déclaration d'indépendance, il faut sortir de guerre. En 68, 7, ils ont fait la guerre. Ils ont perdu. Ils ont perdu. Ils doivent, c'est terminé. Ils ont perdu, c'est à nous. C'est
But you don't have any friends. Do you have any friends, Arab people? No. I have a lot of friends. They are my neighbors. We live together.
أخشبهم قامتين أصغر لهتلر كتين لهم أوفر مدار هتلر.
You depend on the nationality. No, come on. If the United States and Israel stop, you stop it. You are nothing without Israel. You are nothing without the United States. You are a colony of the United States. You were put here.
And you are from? I'm in Israel for 22 years already. My parents came as refugees from the dictatorship. I'm Jewish. I grew up in a kibbutz. Social movements in Europe and the alternative movement in Europe should support the Palestinian struggle. The Palestinian people are struggling for their national liberation, and it needs the support of the people in Europe and people in the United States and people in Canada and people in the West. It's like the Vietnam struggle for liberation. Secondly, it is a need also to support the Israelis which are in solidarity with the Palestinian struggle. It should be a movement, a strong movement in the West of supporting the right of the Palestinian people for national liberation.
At the outburst of the Second Intifada in September 2000, the situation in the Palestinian occupied territories had long been explosive. the Oslo peace process, which began in 1993, had definitively failed. From 2001, Israeli army raids and bombings of Palestinian cities, villages and refugee camps began again. House demolition and land seizure intensified. A new military reoccupation phase laid siege to even more Palestinian populated areas, converting them to open-air prisons.
Dal 1993 ad oggi Israele non ha fermato la costruzione delle colonie e la costruzione delle colonie dentro i territori occupati significa in realtà terra confiscata ai palestinesi, significano nuove colonie, nuovi abitanti israeliani, ebrei, non quelli che arrivano purtroppo dalle tragedie immani, uniche dell'Olocausto e della persecuzione europea, ma quelli che arrivano in realtà da Brooklyn e che sono fanatici e che pensano che quella terra è loro per diritto divino e che i palestinesi, gli arabi dovrebbero tutti andarsene, essere trasferiti in tanti altri paesi arabi.
There we were talking, friends asked, how can we overcome this American bias and this European unfair governmental position to the Palestinian cause? We had a meeting with the political groups, and the answer is very simple. It's you, the power of people. The power of people that managed to isolate the regime of South Africa at one point should all be mobilized now to isolate the government of Israel and the occupation of Israel.
Here we are again to say to you, all of you, to the whole world, that the peace of the brave in the Terra Santa is not only for the Israelis, is not only for the Palestinians. It is not only for the Middle East, it is for the whole world. And this is very important, and you can understand what I am meaning of that. This is a history, this is the line of the civilian platform all over the world, the peace of the brave in the land of peace in the Terra Santa. For this, we are in need of your help, the help of your people, the help of all your friends all over the world. Push forward and to work together and to participate together to protect the peace of the brave and the land peace and the Palenstine. All of us, with your participation, this line, the line of the peace and the land of peace and the Palenstine. We know that we are facing some troubles here and there, but we have to overcome all the obstacles, all the difficulties, whatever these obstacles and these difficulties are. Because I have to remember that my partner, Rabin, had paid his life for the peace of the brave. And we have to follow with all our power to complete this line which we had started together.
In 2002, Sharon's government started building a wall throughout the West Bank and around Jerusalem. Once completed in 2005, the wall will annex half of the West Bank territory. In July 2004, the International Court of Justice, followed by the United Nations, declared the wall illegal, demanding that Israel dismantle it and refund the Palestinian people the sustained losses.
Israël n'a jamais défini ses frontières dans un document constitutionnel. Par exemple, dans l'accord de paix avec la Jordanie, on définit quelle est la frontière de la Jordanie, mais pas quelle est la frontière d'Israël. D'ailleurs, l'accusation principale de Ariel Sharon contre Yitzhak Rabin et tous ceux qui ont soutenu le processus d'Oslo, ça a été de vouloir définir enfin une frontière. Parce que les négociations entre Israël et l'OLP devaient, au terme de 4 années de négociations, définir finalement la frontière de l'État d'Israël et la frontière de l'État palestinien. Et où il explique toute sa philosophie politique, Sharon dit les choses suivantes. Premièrement, la guerre de 1948 n'est pas finie. L'erreur des partisans d'Oslo, c'est d'avoir voulu fixer, stabiliser les frontières d'Israël. Mais la paix n'est pas à l'ordre du jour pour les 50 ans à venir. Parce que nous avons encore 50 ans de colonisation pour parachever 1948. Sharon a toujours eu 2 plans concernant la neutralisation des Palestiniens de Cisjordanie et si possible de Gaza. Le plan originel, c'est espérer, faciliter, aider, encourager le départ volontaire, évidemment volontaire, des Palestiniens en Jordanie. Le deuxième plan, c'est un plan qu'il a défini dans ses détails en 1978, quand il était ministre responsable de la colonisation dans le premier gouvernement de droite dirigé par Menachem Begin. Et le plan du quadrillage en expliquant qu'il fallait rapidement créer des lignes de colonisation, des lignes de colonie qui aillent du nord au sud et d'est en ouest autour des zones palestiniennes à forte densité. Si vous regardez la carte de la colonisation et surtout les routes de contournement, vous verrez qu'il y a un véritable quadrillage colonial classique, est-ouest, nord-sud, qui encercle les grandes zones palestiniennes à population dense, la zone de Jénine, la zone de Naplouse, la zone de Ramallah el-Biré, la zone de Bethléem, la zone de Hébron et le petit Jéricho à droite. Alors disons au moins 5, il y aura l'État palestinien de Gaza, il y aura l'État palestinien du sud de la Cisjordanie, il y aura l'État palestinien du centre, il y aura l'État ou les deux États palestiniens du nord et il y aura l'État palestinien du sud. Le mur est exactement là pour définir ces États palestiniens ou, selon le concept que l'on connaît très bien depuis l'Afrique du Sud, des véritables Bantoustans. Il y a là les deux facettes de ce que j'ai appelé la relation sioniste à la frontière. Un mur entre les peuples, un espace ouvert pour la colonisation, la conquête de la souveraineté. En tant que civilisation, en tant que culture, en tant qu'entité nationale, en tant que quelque chose de vivant. On est en train de s'étouffer nous-mêmes derrière ce mur. Dans une génération, dans 2 générations maximum, on aura cessé d'avoir l'énergie de vivre.
Yunis, questa è una vera e propria prima linea di fuoco. I soldati israeliani fanno molte incursioni, specialmente durante la notte. Molte di queste persone di notte si spostano a dormire verso il centro del villaggio. How the soldier shot? Sparano sia con gli elicotteri che con i carri armati. Poi andiamo a vedere dove si trova la postazione militare, che vediamo che è molto vicina alle case. How many people live here? Qui vive una famiglia di 12 persone. Ecco, vedi qua? Si vede benissimo dov'è la postazione militare israeliana. Qui ci troviamo in territorio palestinese occupato. C'erano ancora molte case palestinesi in piedi dove la gente viveva. Adesso nell'arco di un anno la situazione è cambiata tantissimo, specialmente in questi ultimi mesi molte case sono state bombardate, poi vedremo qua molte distrutte dai bulldozer, infatti ci sono delle persone che vivono nelle tende, adesso andiamo a vederle.
Israele.
Questa, come ti dicevo, è veramente la prima linea di fuoco. Qui le case sono state bombardate e distrutte. Fino a qualche mese fa ci abitavano delle persone, delle famiglie palestinesi. Qui a sinistra invece ci sono le tende dove vivono circa una ventina di famiglie palestinesi a cui sono state distrutte le case dai bulldozer.
رايحين يموتوا هذول رايحين ناكل
With sudden raids, the Israeli army destroyed the houses that were in this area, known as Al-Tufa, and the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees assisted homeless families by putting up tents over the actual debris of the houses. The demolition of houses by the Israeli army is one of the forms of retaliation on the Palestinian population that causes more anger and desperation. It is a form of collective punishment which strikes blindly, generating thousands of internal refugees in one of the poorest areas in the world.
انت عربيين ولا اسرائيل؟ اسرائيل ولا عربيين؟ لا معسكر هيا انا الرئيس كلام
Yes, my brother's room. He sleep here.
And this is his friends was dead with him in the same day and the same moment. This is my brother. And this is another picture from my brother. He loves this singer very, very much. He's the best one for him. I love him so much.
But how old was your brother?
20 years.
What happened? Two friends and go to shot Israeli soldiers. The Israeli soldiers saw him, friends,
and shot him, and he's dead. That's very, very bad.
Did you know he was going to do this action?
No, if we know that, we stop him.
Where it happened?
In Rafah.
And how old are you?
I'm 21 years old. Please don't want the fact here in the life. He want always to change the fact. Yes, he wanted it. He loved Palestine. He loved this land. He want to the occupation go away. Oh, don't the Israeli soldiers stay here. He said that's our land. The God, we born here in the land for this land, not for anything, not for the life, not for playing, not for anything. My God born me here for say that for the occupation go away. We don't want you here. We not a terrorism. They are a terrorism. We not. We love our brothers, fathers, sisters. They are killed. A lot of us was killed. Why? Why? The terrorism, the real terrorism, was killed the much, and we are killed. We are the much. I miss him so much. I want him to come back, but I can't really. If he want that, he want to dead, but we want him. He don't. He choose, but we want. Agree with him, which he choose. We want him.
If you know what...
No, we couldn't. We couldn't. He want that. He don't want to stop that. Never. If we do all the best we can, he won't. That's very miserable.
Too many dead.
Yes, too many. There is my relative. There are 4. Yes, 4 from my relatives. So I cry every time I hear Muhammad dead, Ammar dead. I walk in the street and I looking for the pictures. All of them, or most of them, my friends, and I know him. I walk in the street and see him. How are you, Muhammad? How are you? There is not blood and flesh. I talking with it. No, there is nothing.
مرحب فيك حالك
روح يا اخي صور فيهم وانا ببر جوا في الجوازات وبطلع بالواسط.
الزلمه بصور.
The Rafah terminal on the border with Egypt is the only point of passage for Palestinians who want to enter or exit the Gaza Strip. The Israeli army controls this border and determines who can pass through and when. Often, males aged 16 to 36 are prevented from crossing the border. Hundreds of people remain days or even weeks in inhuman conditions, waiting for the army to reopen the gates of Gaza. The situation is no different on the other side of the border for the Palestinians waiting to return home. Even humanitarian aids, medical supplies and commercial goods are blocked at the Egyptian border.
Per raggiungere l'ospedale in Giordania deve passare attraverso questo confine con l'Egitto. Sta aspettando con l'ambulanza dalle 8 di questa mattina. Gli hanno detto che probabilmente tra 2 o 3 ore riuscirà a passare. Sono gli israeliani che decidono il flusso, però le ambulanze palestinesi non hanno praticamente, come in tutto il resto del mondo, il diritto all'emergenza.
السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم. وعليكم السلام. حياهم الله.
Qui ci troviamo nel campo profughi di Rafah, al confine con l'Egitto, confine controllato dall'esercito israeliano. Qui ci sono le demolizioni che gli israeliani hanno fatto delle case palestinesi. Questa rete è il confine. Se vieni più qua, lì a sinistra c'è la postazione militare israeliana di controllo su quello che è chiamato Al-Saladen Gate, che poi andiamo a vedere dopo. Queste sono tutte case appunto di palestinesi che sono state distrutte recentemente, questi ultimi 2 mesi. Ecco, questa strada qua appunto è il Saladen Gate, questa strada che si vede da questa parte. È pericoloso avvicinarsi. Bombardamenti con carri armati e elicotteri. Questo posto è stato demolito, però la gente continua a vivere. Qualche mese fa sono venuta a fare case da ricchi. Il signore che ho incontrato l'altro giorno ha raccontato che nel cuore della notte ha sentito il rumore dei bulldozer e di un antico bombardamento, è scappato via. Il bulldozer gli ha spianato la casa, non ha avuto il tempo di portare via niente, sono scappati così come erano.
اسمع اطلع الصورة ونباشرها.
لما تسمع لك كلمتين وسخات احسن لك. مزبوط كلام الحاج بيحكي من حركات البيت. خليه يحكي.
تعال 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 عمرك جو خليه يصور. اطلع برا خليه يصور كويس. صور اسكتي عنه ابو عين اماتهم. ظبط في الكاميرا. اسكت ظبط في الكاميرا. انا صور طخ عليك ذبح بنامش.
It's a very dangerous. It's a very dangerous.
Questo è il confine con l'Egitto.
What was once a thin dividing line has now become a wide empty corridor patrolled day and night by tanks. A large part of the refugee camp has been transformed into no man's land. On the debris of the destroyed houses, Israel built an electronically guarded metal wall with high turrets and snipers.
We very happy because you visit my country.
In the Palestinian-occupied territories, a human catastrophe is underway. Waiting for the end of the military occupation and for the establishment of an independent national state, the Palestinian people live today under a military regime of segregation and apartheid. On November the 11th, 2004, after days of agony, the Palestinian president Yasser Arafat dies. An era ends forever. The man who signed the Palestinian Historic Compromise, recognizing the State of Israel, leaves the scene and is buried in Ramallah by a huge crowd.